So we just got the latest CPI figure for the month of February in Canada, and according to Stats Canada, the inflation is finally coming down. The rate hikes are finally working. We will look into details in this video, so stay tuned till the end. Let's go. Alright, if you're new to my channel, my name is Yasin Nizami, and I make these videos to share information about the macroeconomics, some geopolitical situations, some investment strategies, some real estate information about Canada, particularly in the GTA. So if you are interested in any of these topics, consider subscribe, and let's get back to our topic of the day. So the CPI print is now looking relatively better compared to previous months. So we saw the inflation reading for the month of February in Canada coming down at 5.2% compared to 5.9% in the previous month, which is a sign of relief for Canadians that the inflation is finally coming down. But when we look into the details, we see that the shelter and food costs are still quite elevated. Like food inflation is around 10% and the shelter inflation is around 6%. So quite elevated still, but it is still rising at a lower pace. So if we exclude food and shelter, we see that the overall CPI basket is coming down at a much better rate compared to the previous readings, which brings a question about the future rate hikes. If I was the Bank of Canada's governing committee member, I would be thinking, okay, the rate hikes are working finally. It is bringing inflation down. So maybe we should not be thinking about raising rates at this level, and we should keep the rates at the current level, which is 4.5, until our job is done. And the job is to bring inflation down to 2% target level. Now, there are a few things in the play as well. Number one, the unemployment data has to be observed very, very carefully. If the unemployment data goes up, that means the economy is not able to absorb any more rate hikes. So they will possibly, looking to cut rates if the unemployment data goes up. Number two is the GDP data. So last GDP data came out as lower than expectation. If it continues, like if we see consecutive quarters of GDP contraction, that also means the economy is struggling big time and is not able to absorb any more stress from a rate hikes perspective. So it means the Bank of Canada has to do something to stimulate the economy, to kind of release the financial condition in order to move things forward. So until the GDP contracts on quarterly basis, until the unemployment data goes up, we are not seeing any rate cuts at this time because it is still quite high from 2% target. So we will have to see and observe how things are at the play, because as the banking crisis is spreading across different geos, we haven't seen yet in Canada, but who knows, if something comes up in any of the regional banks in Canada, that may also spread like a contagion across the country. So we will have to observe things, how things are going on, but at this level, I think the Bank of Canada will keep the rates at this level until the job is done. So if you like this video, share, click, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.